Welcome to the Tilted Planet Podcast, sharing journeys, stories, and a little wonder from around the world. I'm Jack, your host, and today we're venturing into a part of Canada you might never expect. A place of rolling ridges, wind-sculpted landscapes, and quiet secrets hiding beneath the sand. It's a world that shifts beneath your feet, alive in a way you wouldn't imagine, and it's waiting to reveal its hidden secrets. When you hear the word desert, Canada probably doesn't come to mind. We think of icy tundras, boreal forests, and lakes stretching to the horizon. And yet, scattered across the prairies and far north, there are stretches of sand that defy those expectations. Here, the earth whispers a different story, one of glacial history, wind, and resilience. It's a landscape that feels both familiar and strangely otherworldly. A place where ordinary rules of what you expect from Canada simply don't apply. Imagine stepping into the fields of dunes. The wind sweeps across your face, shaping ridges and valleys with invisible hands. Beneath your feet, the sand shifts ever so slightly with every step. Some dunes actually glow pale gold under the sun, while others are darker, coarser, dotted with tiny shrubs and grasses that cling stubbornly to life. It's quiet here, as you could expect. No roaring rivers, no crackling fires, just a gentle hum of wind over the sand. And yet, despite the stillness, the dunes are quite alive. Not with fire or movement that leaps out at you, but with subtle, constant shifts that are mesmerizing if you take time to actually notice them. To understand these dunes, we need to look back thousands of years. Canada wasn't always the landscape we recognize today. During the last ice age, massive glaciers, often kilometers thick, covered much of the country. They ground away rocks, carved valleys, and reshaped the terrain. As glaciers slowly retreated, they left behind enormous lakes and rivers of meltwater, carrying enormous amounts of sand and silt. And over centuries, wind and erosion sculpted this material into the dunes that we see today in these regions. Unlike deserts and hot climates, these dunes exist in temperate and sometimes even subarctic regions. The sand isn't baked dry by sun alone. Instead, its movement and shape depend on a delicate balance of wind, moisture, and seasonal temperature changes. Freeze-thaw cycles, occasional rains, and shifting winds all play a role as well. Each gust, each passing storm leaves a subtle mark, slowly reshaping the landscape over decades and even centuries. Some dunes are only a few hundred years old, geologically speaking, while others are closer to 10,000 years old. Even in this relative youth, they produced ecosystems and microhabitats entirely unique to these landscapes. The sand may appear barren at first glance, but under careful observation, you realize it's a living, breathing environment, constantly in flux, yet enduring in ways that seem almost paradoxical. The Athabasca Sand Dunes stretch along the southern shore of Lake Athabasca, and they are among the northernmost active dunes in the world. Remote, rugged, and difficult to access, often only by float plane or boat. They carry a sense of mystery and isolation. Here, rare plants cling to life in tiny pockets of sand, including unique species of orchids and grasses found nowhere else on Earth. These plants survive harsh winters and shifting sands, creating tiny green oases against the golden expanse. Walking through the Athabasca Dunes, you feel the immensity of time, the patience of nature, and the quiet power of landscapes that evolve slowly but relentlessly. Carcross Desert is often called the world's smallest desert. This is located in the Yukon. Technically, it's a sand dune field left behind by a glacial lake, but its small size doesn't diminish its otherworldly feeling. You can walk its length in an hour or two, yet stepping onto the sands feels like entering another world entirely. The contrast with the surrounding boreal forests and mountains is striking. One moment, you're among the pines and spruces. The next, golden sand stretched beneath your feet. The dunes feel impossibly delicate, yet they endure despite winds, seasonal rains, and of course, human curiosity. Another is the Great Sand Hills in Saskatchewan. The Great Sand Hills covers nearly 1,900 square kilometers, making them the largest of Canada's dune systems. Constantly reshaped by prairie winds, these dunes are perpetually in motion. And unlike the Athabasca Dunes, which are mostly narrow ridges, the Great Sand Hills offer a variety of dune shapes, ridges, hummocks, and valleys. Walking across them, you notice subtle changes underfoot. Some dunes shift meters per year, creating new ridges and eroding older ones. It's a dynamic landscape, reminding us that even when land seems still at first glance, it's quietly alive with motion. Despite appearances, the dunes are teeming with life. Certain plants are endemic, existing nowhere else on Earth. Grasses, orchids, and shrubs have adapted to the extreme conditions, with wind, temperature swings, and shifting sands. Insects burrow beneath the surface to escape predators and heat, while small mammals and birds navigate the ever-changing terrain with surprising skill. Even mosses and lichens play an outsized role. They stabilize patches of sand, create microhabitats, and help anchor other plants. In some areas, these small organisms form the foundation for entire mini ecosystems. Each plant, insect, and animal is part of a delicate balance, demonstrating nature's adaptability and persistence. It's a fragile ecosystem, as you can imagine. Human impact can be quite dramatic. Even walking off established trails can damage plant roots, destabilize dunes, or disturb animal habitats. This fragility makes it all the more impressive that life actually thrives here, evolving strategies to survive where it might seem otherwise impossible. Now, of course, the indigenous people have known these dunes for centuries. They appear in oral histories, traditional knowledge, and travel routes. The dunes provided guidance, seasonal hunting grounds, and sometimes spiritual meaning. Observing their stories allows us to understand the land in ways that go way beyond maps and textbooks. It becomes a teacher, revealing lessons in patience, observation, and adaptation. Modern visitors are often astonished. Hiking across sand in Canada is surreal. The dunes evoke curiosity, awe, and sometimes even disbelief. Photographers are drawn to the interplay of light and shadow, whereas scientists to the shifting patterns and unique flora, and, of course, the casual explorers to the sense of quiet adventure. Each step is a reminder that Canada's landscapes are far more diverse than most people often imagine. The dunes keep moving through a combination of wind, sand, and vegetation all working together. Wind pushes sand up the windward slope, creating a ripple effect as it slips down the leeward side. Plants can temporarily anchor sand, but over time the wind overcomes them. This creates ever-changing shapes and ridge patterns. Scientists study these moments not just for curiosity, but to understand wind intensity, climate patterns, and even historical glacial activity. Dunes act as natural records, chronicling the interaction between Earth's elements over many centuries. In some areas, dunes shift several meters a year, slow enough to seem steady, but fast enough to notice if you return after a season that they had indeed moved. The shifting sands of Canada's hidden deserts remind us that our planet is full of, honestly, surprises everywhere. Landscapes move, evolve, and hold secrets in plain sight. And life always seems to find ways to thrive, even in places that seem otherwise impossible. They remind us that what looks barren can be alive underneath, and that the Earth is always reshaping itself in ways both subtle and spectacular. But Earth's marvels aren't only written in sand, because far to the south in the frozen silence of Antarctica, another wonder awaits. A glacier that bleeds, spilling secrets locked away for millions of years. So, join me next time on the Tilted Planet podcast as we uncover the strange and haunting mystery of the Blood Falls. Until then, keep exploring, keep wondering, and tilt your perspective. And if you like today's episode, drop a comment, a like, or you can even buy me a coffee with the link in the description.